Nice and comfy. Doctor?
Doctor.
I actually like that way better than Sup Fuckers.
Yeah?
Yeah, it just feels more natural. It feels like Sup Fuckers is kind of immature. And as we're growing,
Right.
we're becoming more mature.
You know, getting our, masters and then forwarding onto a PhD, it's logical progression that,
Yeah.
things change.
Get that postdoctorate going. Get me readjusted here.
What are, is there a scientist that are like cave explorers? Probably.
A spelunking scientist?
Yes, we are the spelunkers of the ancient mystery caves of the human psyche.
The human psyche, the paranormal, everything that you dare not question.
Or you do dare to question, but people might look at you as being weird, but I don't care.
I am fucking weird, and I made peace with that a long time ago.
If people just realize that everybody's weird in their own weird way.
Many people across the span of my lifetime have said, "You're a weird guy." And I finally have the perfect response. It took me 40 years, but I got it. The perfect response is, yeah, but I'm not boring.
True. I would rather, you ever been to a movie and you're like, you come out of the movie and people ask you, how was the movie? And you're like, it was weird. Should I watch it? Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it. It's weird. Or you go to a movie and you're like, dude, that movie was so boring, I fell asleep twice. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, it's like...
Same with people, dude.
100%. It's like, you remember the movie Memento?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when that came out, you could kind of tell who's boring and who's weird. Because the weird people were like, dude, this movie's awesome.
Right.
And the boring people are like, I didn't get it. Didn't make sense.
It was so dumb. What was it? Backwards?
It was all over the place. I couldn't figure it out. Probably because you're stupid.
They just reorganize the scene so that you can watch it in the right order and make more sense.
No, because that makes a different movie, and that version sucks.
I think they actually did that.
They did it. Somebody went and made it like a super edit of it, and I tried watching it, and I was like, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Can't do it. This movie was too good because it was out of order.
Right.
It made it way more interesting.
Right. That was kind of the, that was the, Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that it's going in a different, order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Christopher Nolan makes his movies intentionally that way, and he's gone on record in saying, I don't dumb my movies down. And great, because movies like that, or Interstellar, which is kind of non-linear, or Tenet, where you're dealing with two opposite flows of time.
Yeah.
Or Inception, we're 3 layers deep in dreams. Great concepts. You can't make them stupid.
Yeah.
They have to be.
It's not going to make any sense at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to broaden your imagination to watch those movies and really understand what it's talking about if you get it before the end of the movie. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching those things is on.
Yeah, for some reason I had this weird thing, even though I looked at it to watch the blue light go on, and I was like, double check it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an hour after you've been to the bathroom, you're like, did I zip my fly? Yes, I know I did.
Did I even wipe my ass?
That explains the crust. That's the problem right there with those movies, is Christopher Nolan's not making a movie you can watch while you're scrolling.
Yeah.
He's making a movie that you're watching.
Yeah.
And I love that.
What it is now is people just don't have the attention span for stuff like that. I know I'm the fucking guy on Letterkenny that's always talking about the gym, but yeah, the guys at the gym just they're sitting there for fucking 20 minutes. Dude, what are you doing? Fucking get off your phone. Pay attention.
Get your reps in, dude. Fucking
Are
loser.
you even getting gains, dude? You looking for gains or follows, bro?
It's neither. Just doom scrolling. Anyway, we have a topic that we need to discuss. We need to solve once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, deep dives. This one included. I mean, sometimes you try to dive deep and you fucking bang your head on the truth super fast. But this is one of those ones it's all over the place.
It really is, and this is the one. This is one of those where I found less enjoyment in the research and more in the theorizing part of it.
Yeah.
Like getting my little gears to turn. Like how does this work, or how could this work? That was way more fun to me. So the topic is hollow Earth theory. So before looking into it, what was your thoughts?
I had heard, different theories about it, and really had to kind of like track down what they were, and because there's a couple different versions of like what they mean by hollow Earth, and so I was like really skeptical of it. Still am, but like really like, how fucking retarded are these people? What about you?
I always kind of gave it more credence than I should have before I really like understood anything. Just thinking about it from a little bit more of like a scientific mindset of how could that work?
Right.
Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
I never thought about it in terms of like, oh, it's just hollow and it's empty and there's nothing in there. We live in like on the outside of a bubble.
Or on the inside of a bubble.
We could be the inside of the hollow Earth.
Which is, one of the theories.
That is one of the theories. But the one theory that I will never give any credit to is the flat hollow Earth theory.
How does that even work?
I was digging on Reddit and I came across that and I went, holy shit, dude, I can't read any more of this. I would rather go eat a whole bottle of aspirin and have my last fucking headache ever than listen to these idiots. It was so bad. But yeah, hollow Earth theory, or Agartha.
Yeah, there's Agartha is one of the the names. Agartha is what the is it Hindu?
The Buddhist?
Buddhist. Yeah, the Buddhists call this inner Earth place. So yeah, the theory is that the Earth is hollow. I mean, there's a crust around the Earth, and some different theories speculate how thick that crust is. And then on the inside of that is another, either land on the inner part of the bubble. So you've got a shell, and like on the inside of the shell there's land, and it's like a concave existence like this, and there's like a central sun in the middle that illuminates the land and stuff like that. Very interesting.
It is super interesting, and I think part of the reason I gave it any like validity was mainly because I personally have to like challenge the mainstream science theories. So you have a crust, a mantle, and a core, right? That's what they say. How do we know that?
Yeah.
And then you look at the technology that they use to prove it by essentially putting out these waves and then measuring the density of the media that the waves go through.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're still operating under the assumption that that's the system we have, predicated on research from like 80 years ago. Nobody's looked into it since. We're not still trying to go like, what if that's wrong?
Yeah.
Because science is wrong all the time.
Yeah. So that's kind of our understanding of it now, but like where the ancient or the hollow earth theory kind of stems from is from different beliefs in different cultures. Like the Chinese had a version of Hollow Earth, Japanese, the Norse, the Greeks, Egyptians, they all had a version of an Earth, or beings that lived beneath us in... so a lot of people say that it's just like they're talking spiritually, not physically.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could be talking about like hell is inside the earth in this like fiery cavern inside the earth, or it's Agartha, which is a paradise inside of the earth, where there are beings and humanoid people that are much more advanced than we are in some cases, and have kind of figured out a utopian society. So that's kind of going way back. Even like a lot of Native Americans have tales saying that that's where they came from. Their ancestors came from underneath the earth, or from these large caverns. They emerged from these caverns onto the surface of the earth. And Hopi legends talk about the ant people that lived underneath the surface and helped reseed civilization after certain cataclysms happened, and kind of gave them tools to be technologies to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going way back. And then so moving up forward up till about 1650-ish era, from 1650 to 1750, there was a scientist named Edmund Halley who was trying to figure out why there was magnetic differences, like there's differences in the magnetic field around the earth. And so his theory was that, like when you're sailing, sometimes the instruments you have would change because the magnetic forces around us would change. And he said it's because of the gravitation of the earth isn't as dense as we think it is. So the only way that would make sense is if the earth was hollow.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where he started basing his hollow earth theory. And that's kind of the basis of the belief that, people that actually believe hollow earth, it's kind of where it stems from.
Yeah, I think there's variables to that too. One is transient magnetic waves, which is a phenomenon that happens every single day all over the place. Just a random wave will pass by. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's at least two of the world's biggest magnetometers. Like one of them is in I think it's in a school in Tennessee. I can't remember, but they're actively all the time watching those transient waves and tracking them.
Yeah.
But the other thing I think about with that is, why would gravity be more dense or less dense in a different spot? To me, there would just be like, well, there's probably an entrance to hollow earth there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be less dense where the hole is, because if it was too dense, it would just pull everything down.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like, does the magnetic field affect gravity? So like if you're on the equator, where the earth is kind of flattened, mm-hmm. It's not an actual sphere, it's more of an oval, because the matter gets pulled out on the equator. So does that mean that the gravity on the poles is greater than on the equator? I don't know.
That's a great question. We'll probably have to ask like an actual doctor for that one.
Yeah, somebody who actually knows things.
Yeah, well...
Like, I feel lighter down here.
I feel lighter right here than I do right there.
Like, how come I'm only 5'2" up here in the North Pole?
Like, God, this backpack is way heavier than it was when I left.
My waist is 5 inches bigger and I'm 5 inches shorter.
Well, I mean, one of the theories, too, is that the entrances to Hollow Earth are at the North Pole and the South Pole. Yeah. Granted, there's a lot of hoopla about Mount Shasta and under Dulce and all these other places that are just mired in mystery of, well, they're probably guarding an entrance to Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Sure. But
possibly.
To me, if you have an entrance and an exit to a hollow Earth, wouldn't it make sense to have it in the most like uninhabitable parts of the planet?
If you're trying to keep it secret, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't want just a bunch of riffraff coming into Agartha.
That's probably why you can't go to Antarctica.
Probably.
You're not on the list, bro.
That's one of the theories. That's why you can go to Antarctica. It's really expensive, and you can only go in certain areas.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's like a treaty that like all these different countries kind of like own portions of Antarctica, so they can do research, and there's like big research facilities down there. Of course, this is just coming from mainstream science, so it could be, all bullshit, and it is alien bases, and maybe it's an ice wall that surrounds us.
I tend to think that the reason all these countries have these treaties to own a piece of it is because that's like their fail-safe to get their upper echelon out should there be a cataclysm. Like, their president and cabinet or whatever can retreat to the hollow Earth and be safe while the rest of us peasants are going to die.
Yeah.
In the next Younger Dryas thing.
I always thought of it as like countries staking their claim on a continent even before like precious minerals are found, just in case shit's found there. They find stuff there. This part is ours. This is where all the oil is, or this is where all the gold is.
Yeah, wouldn't that be so fucked up if you actually like find precious minerals and like you signed this treaty and you bought a part of that, but your part has nothing.
Yeah.
You just got to sit there and watch everybody else.
I got fucking clay.
I got a bunch of snow.
Yeah. Got a bunch of ice. Ices. I love ice, dude.
It's great with soda pop.
Yeah, I'm talking about frozen water, not the department ice. Don't. That's not what I'm talking about here.
I got a sidetrack on that because I saw like some celebrity beef about ice, and it made me laugh. Dean Cain?
Yeah, Superman.
Yeah, played Superman in the 90s. He's like a volunteer ICE agent or something like that.
Oh, really?
And John Leguizamo went on his TikTok or whatever his social media platform of choice is and was talking mad shit. And he's like, fucking Dean Cain's an ICE agent now? Wow, dude, you're so washed up. Your pronouns are has been. And I was like, that was actually a pretty good clapback.
Yeah.
But then he was talking about like, I was going to go on and talk shit about his filmography, but there's just nothing there. And then Dean Cain responded, and he's like, yeah, but I was fucking Superman. Who did you play? God damn. Can we keep this going? This is as good as like the Drake and Kendrick thing.
I enjoyed The Pest, dude. You ever see that movie?
Yeah. I mean, he's done some pretty good stuff, but you don't think about John Leguizamo and think about one movie or one show, but you think about Dean Cain, you're fucking Superman.
Superman. That's exactly what I said.
So it's like, he kind of got you in the box on that one, Johnny boy.
Yeah. And it was like the first time Lois Lane was hot.
You know what's funny about that is I watched the Superman movie, the one that just came out, and I remember like we're in the car ride home and I was telling my dad, I was like, dude, this is like a momentous Superman movie for me because they finally got a Lois Lane who I found attractive.
What was her name on
Terry Hatcher?
Terry Hatcher. Yeah, she was very attractive.
She was, but she was TV show.
Yeah.
So I was just going off the movies. Granted, Amy Adams is a beautiful lady. I just don't find her like really physically attractive, I guess.
Have you seen that movie that she just did? I think it just came out like last year or something. Night Bitch.
Oh, where she's like running with the dogs?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but
Yeah, don't.
yeah, I wasn't going to.
I thought it was going to be a comedy because it sounds funny.
Yeah, It seems like a goofy movie, but it's probably like some surreal, cerebral movie that you're
Not even that.
No, it's just
No.
dumb.
It's just dumb. Like, I think it's talking about like a woman's need to feel wild and free after becoming a mother. That's what I got from
I've
it.
experienced enough of that in my life. I'm good without watching it in a fucking movie.
I don't know if that's what they were actually trying to say, but that's what like I felt like it was about. But it was so confusing because you don't know if she actually is out running with the wolves and eating like carcasses and shit like that. I don't know.
I'm definitely not watching it
I
now.
thought for sure she was going to turn into like a werewolf or something, but like no, it just turns out that she's just a night bitch.
Just a night bitch.
Like fuck, I'm a bitch all fucking day too.
Dude, I never stop. 24/7, no days off.
Time.
Loser.
Anyways, going back to Hollow Earth.
So let's jump into the some of the connections to Nazis.
Yeah.
Because
So-
that just ties right into High Jump. They're just like parallel related.
So yeah, that all gets tied into with Admiral Byrd, who was a real admiral, and
The youngest admiral ever.
yeah, I think he was in both World War I and World War II. Highly decorated, very respected admiral, and so it's said that in one of his diaries, like he kept a diary his whole life and throughout his military career, and in one of his diaries he was tasked with taking a fleet to the South Pole, or to Antarctica, and surveying it, and this is after World War II. And so he's got a whole battalion of like warships, and they're chasing the Nazis. Like, 'cause after World War II, the Nazis kind of scattered. Some of them went to South America. Some were
No, they didn't. Hitler died in a bunker.
yeah. Some
Bullshit.
some were thought to have gone to Antarctica, where they had military bases there, which is true because they were trying to set up whaling fleets so they could procure their own oil. And so Admiral Byrd has his battalion, and he goes down there, and they're supposed to be down there for a length of time, which I can't remember what the length of time is.
I want to say it was supposed to be closer to 2 years, but they left after 9 months.
Yeah. And so in his diary, it says that on one of his reconnaissance missions, he was flying over portions of Antarctica, and as he approached the South Pole, he all of a sudden started to see like a mountain range that shouldn't have been there, and he flies over the mountains, and he starts to see like grassland, and then he sees like a woolly mammoths there grazing, and while he's flying, all of a sudden these two crafts come up beside him and take control of his airplane, and he notices that the crafts are disc-shaped crafts, and they have big fucking swastikas on them.
Swastika.
And so yeah, they take control of his plane, make him land, and then take him into this city and to go meet the master. And they tell him that they are a society of people that have lived this way for a long, long time, and they keep themselves hidden from the general population because modern humans are reckless and dangerous, and they just detonated the nuclear bombs, and so they saw that as humanity's a beginning of the end of humanity. and they wanted to tell Admiral Byrd that he was somebody influential, that he could probably stop that from happening. And so these people were known as the Arianas race, and it's like white people, tall, blonde Aryans. And
That's not an Asian connotation.
yeah.
Actual Aryans. A-R-Y.
And told him all these things, and then after a short time of talking, they got him back to his plane, and then the aircraft helped him back up into the air, and then gave him back control of his plane, and then he flew out and then fucked off back to their base.
Yeah, he probably landed back on the carrier. He's like, wrap it up. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm cold.
So what do you think about that?
I believe it. Honestly. Taking the whole fleet down there, and if I even try to tell you the number of carriers and ships, I'll probably butcher it. I'll say it anyway. I want to say it was like 6 large ships, one of them being an aircraft carrier, and like 36 planes and 1,600 soldiers and things like that. I'm talking about a pretty massive excursion that's supposed to last this long length of time for a surveying mission. He has this experience and pulls the plug, retires shortly thereafter, which I'm sure there's something to be said for, dude, you were supposed to be there X amount of time and you left in 9 months. You're fucking fired.
Yeah.
Or you could just retire. But tying that in with all of the Nazi lore, having a secret base in Antarctica, the whaling station thing makes sense, but it also seems like a great cover. Mm-hmm. And it's even known, and you can find it online, where these U-boats were just running passes down to Antarctica to keep supplying these stations. So it's a totally real thing. But as much as I've learned about like Nazi occultism and the lore into the occultism and everything that they put into that sort of thing, they had to have found something. And then you tie that back around to the Aryans, where the Nazis were looking for Aryans, right? You know, they did a big excursion in Tibet to do all this DNA testing and things like that. They were heavily like influenced by them, you know, the whole master race thing. And they were super influenced by anything that was alien related. I mean, you look at stories like Diglaka or the Wonderwaffe or whatever. They had something that we still don't know about, where you and I don't know about. I'm sure the government knows it all, but
Sure.
I genuinely think that there is something to be said for Antarctica. It may not be a Hollow Earth thing, but it's definitely something not, I'll say it's something NHI related that the Nazis had a handle in.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's something outside of the general population's knowledge going on down there.
When you think about even the swastika itself, like we, in modern day, we look at that and we see it as like a sign of evil because the Nazis used it. Where did they take it from? They took it from ancient cultures that saw it as a sign of peace.
Yeah.
So it's like a UFO pops up next to your ship and it's got a swastika, you automatically are going to think it's a Nazi. But what if it's something much older and more benevolent?
Yeah. Yeah, it's something definitely that was vilified by the Nazis that had a completely opposite meaning for millennia up
Yeah.
to that point. Like ancient Hindu sites, there's ancient carvings on rocks in the Americas with swastikas on them. That,
Yeah. The Buddhists used it.
Buddhists.
Like all kinds of cultures use that as a sign of peace.
Yeah. So as for the Admiral Byrd story, I like the story, but unfortunately I think it's bullshit.
I definitely think there was a good amount of embellishment.
Yeah. So the guy who came out with the story said that he got the diary after Admiral Byrd died and was given the diary a couple years after he died. he was given the diary by Admiral Byrd's son, and so he like wrote a book about the diary, but there was a bunch of details that were not right
Yeah.
in this guy's story. His name is Walter Sigmeister was his actual name, but he went by a pseudonym.
I would too.
Doctor something. So he was like, called himself a doctor. And
I would definitely use a pseudonym, because you said that name and I immediately thought of Smegmeister, and I would not want to be called that.
so in his book, he says that he was flying over the North Pole and found the entrance. That's where it happened. But he used the date for the South Pole expedition. So Admiral Byrd did fly over the North Pole, but that was in 1921 or something like
Yeah.
that. And this expedition had happened in the South Pole in 1952 or 53. So like most of his story was embellished heavily.
So I guess I should have rephrased that, because the journals are a huge question mark for me, and it just seems the narrative that's put in there is way too simple.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you're an influential person, so this NHI wants to have a conversation with you and tell you that nuclear weapons are bad and humanity is going to end. We've heard that message within UFO lore so many times, and we've seen it in movies and TV shows dozens and dozens of times, where it's like it's easy to cut and paste that narrative and just stick it right in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's more likely he did probably encounter UFOs or Nazis or something. Some kind of combat situation probably happened, and they were like, we're outmatched, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. There's definitely accounts of him talking about how it was too dangerous for them to stay there and they had to get out of there because they couldn't. So in other accounts, he got into a battle with something or some people, and they were outgunned, and so they fled.
Yeah.
That I believe that probably happened.
Yeah.
As for this other guy, Sigmeister's story, so he's an interesting guy himself. He actually was a doctor, but it was in health science. He was a nutritionist that back in the 50s was talking about like food health, like but he was like heavy into veganism, and he actually started a thing called breathism, and said that he taught that all of the minerals and vitamins that you need actually is in the air, so all you have to do is breathe and you'll be sustained.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hard no. I mean, a steak beats breathing every part of the day.
Yeah, I mean, your body
Morning, night.
naturally produces so much of that. I mean, so you could be like, look, you're producing it just by breathing. Like, no, your body just does that naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, he already kind of lost credibility when you said he was pushing veganism.
I know. I was like, ooh, this guy's fucking full of shit.
I took Deacon to get his ears pierced at Claire's, and one of the ladies who did the piercing, she was a very nice gal, but she had a tattoo on her arm right here that said vegan. That's cringe. That's super cringe.
How do you know somebody's vegan? Because they have a tattoo that says vegan.
She literally had a tattoo that said vegan. She was a little
Good for her.
she was a little large to be a vegan, though.
Oh, they call that
Would you call that a carbivore?
a carbivore, yeah.
They're potato chips.
Yeah. A carbivore. And I heard that somewhere else, and I thought it was hilarious, and so I just...
When you said it a few weeks ago, I about died.
Yeah.
It was super clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one thing that kind of got my little brain going was the idea of if there is a hollow Earth, gravity has to be going in the opposite direction. You know, I don't think just centripetal motion is going to keep you on the inside, on the concave side of the planet. So there has to be some kind of inversion. So if you were to, let's say, step from the convex side into the concave side, how would your body deal with the gravitational inversion? And they actually tackled that kind of in the movie King Kong versus Godzilla.
I haven't seen that one.
Or is it that one or the next one? New Empire, whatever it is. But in the movie,
It must be new. I think I have seen Kong versus Godzilla.
I think it's the one after that where they like team up to beat this other ape and another kaiju, and it was not that great of a movie. Or maybe it was the first one. I don't know. I'm getting them jumbled up. They're all the same thing after a while.
Skull Island was dope.
I love Skull Island. That movie was awesome. No, it was the first one because they had to build this special ship that could deal with the gravity inversion, which was great because that's something that always boggled my mind way before understanding anything about it. But then it got me thinking, like, do we have the tech to do that? Actually, yeah. Because all the ships that you see, the alien reproduction vehicles allegedly, they're all transmedium, and they're all pretty much predicated on an anti-gravity system. So if gravity doesn't apply to you while you're in the ship, you can easily pass right through. And maybe that's a lot more of what we're seeing, is these alien craft that we see are actually from the inside of the Earth instead of another faraway solar system.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the theories for sure, and there's been people who have theorized so hard that they have mounted expeditions, or tried to mount expeditions to go in search of these holes, to go prove their theories are correct. The only one that I kind of was looking at that looks like may have actually happened, the guy was never seen again, or maybe he just died.
Maybe he tried to walk through that inversion and just like turned him into a pancake and then inside out.
Yeah. So his story's kind of weird. He said that he got into a car accident. His name is something Taylor. He got into an accident, and while he was like in a coma, he was contacted by these beings that told him similar story to the bird journal stories. And this is like early turn of the century, 1900. And maybe it was later than that. Actually, no, this one is in like the 1990s. I'm getting all over the place here.
It gets hard when you have like all these different dates and years to track from all these different like writings, and then expedition, and then the Nazis and the wars and everything else. Like it gets hard to keep the date straight. So if you got a problem with that, shove it up your ass.
Google it, dude.
GTS.
So he got into an accident, was told about this stuff, then came out of his coma, and then like started researching all the stuff that he had heard, found out about like hollow earth theory and stuff like that, and then was planning an expedition, was like fundraising to go do this expedition on a solo trip, and so he was set to leave on his birthday of like 2003 or something like that, and like 2 days before his expedition was supposed to leave, he just disappeared and was never seen again.
That never happens.
So yeah, either he was like super excited about going on this expedition, he just left early and then found Agartha, and then just was like, yeah, fuck going back, dude, this is tight.
Yeah.
Or he was like, dude, I actually raised like $500,000 or some crazy amount of stupid money.
I'm going to Thailand.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live in Thailand, and I'm changing my name to fucking Brock Liebermeister and
Brock Smegmeister.
Brock Smegmeister, and I'm gonna live it like a king there.
Or the probably most realistic theory is some government agent was like, no, you're not going.
Yeah. So that's what he was starting to question, where all the money was coming from, because he didn't really know where a lot of the source of some of the money, or a lot of the money that he was raising was coming from. So he was kind of questioning if there are people who are in places of government that are kind of manipulating things. Which is, I mean, I don't doubt that for a second, that there's...
Me neither, not at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're not surrounded by black SUVs right now.
Well, you heard the plane go overhead, right?
Didn't see it, though.
Didn't see it. I mean, I always wonder if we're going to be doing one of these episodes, and then while I'm talking, I'm going to get a text from a random number that says, you need to stop talking right now. Which is just...
comes down from the sky and my fucking zip line...
Yeah, the camo dudes just fast rope down, and I get choked out, put a black bag over my head, and...
Sleep!
It's just... Wake up in Agartha. Like, you know what? We're going to do you a solid. We're going to teach you the truth right before we kill you.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
Really, I mean... I don't think they'd have to kill you anymore. It's like... There are so many people on... like social media platforms and shysters out there that are like putting out so much fake ass shit that like...
There's a Reddit thread for flat hollow earth theory.
Yeah, I think it'd be funner to take somebody and show them the truth and just say, okay,
yeah, good luck.
now go be the crazy guy.
Hey, I'm already there.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it kind of goes back to, you know, like the Admiral Byrd journals, is how much of that is purposely manipulated to be a little bit outlandish so that we keep perpetuating it, and then the truth just gets so watered down over the telephone game that it's like, yeah, the truth is there, but there's so much bullshit in there you'd never believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like the Admiral Byrd story. They should make it a movie, you know?
What are we waiting for?
I don't know. I think you could look like an Admiral Byrd.
I could probably pull off some Byrd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you going to play? You, the master.
Well, I'm not Aryan.
Yeah, I mean...
Dye my hair.
Blonde hair, blue eyes thing.
But that's like appropriating a role. It's not. It's frowned upon.
I don't know, but you think about it, like, traditionally, Aquaman is blonde hair and blue eyed, but then they had a Pacific Islander play him.
We just had to have Disney. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, that was Zack Snyder's choice. Because he called up Jason Momoa, was like, hey, I got a role for you in this Batman v Superman movie. And he's like, oh, I'm going to be playing Lobo.
He was like, chee-hoo, dude.
He's like, chee-hoo, brother. Pops a Guinness. Yeah, no, he's like, I was for sure it was for Lobo, and then I came in for the read, and it was Aquaman. But he's like, I really like the take of making a Pacific Islander Aquaman, which I think is a really cool move, even though Pacific and Atlantean is the wrong ocean. It doesn't matter, it's cool.
Within the oceans, there are no bounds.
There really isn't. But that kind of brings up another question. You know, you've been hearing it a lot on social media, at least I have, where if the Earth's core is so hot, why isn't the bottom of the ocean warm? My thought is that we're sharing an ocean.
Could be. I mean, there are parts of the ocean where they really... I don't say haven't found the bottom yet, but like I don't think they're fully mapped yet, for sure.
No, there was a drilling expedition where they drilled just over 7 miles down.
The Cola drill?
That one. Which 7 miles down is almost the bottom of the ocean floor that we know of. So the Laurentian Abyss is the deepest part of our ocean, and it's just a little bit deeper than the length of what they drilled. So it's like they needed to go probably another 1,000 feet before they were going to see anything different.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's extreme limitations on that kind of drilling technology. Like 7,000 feet is a long way to go.
Well, they went, just over 7.6 miles they drilled down, and they couldn't drill any deeper because it was too hot down there. It was over excess of 350 degrees Celsius. And so it was just, their equipment wouldn't work anymore. Which is wild, like, to think that the deepest part of the oceans are only about 7 to 8 miles deep. And the majority of the ocean depth is about 2 miles, which you would think it'd be a lot deeper than that. But, I mean, 2 miles is deep. But
it is. It seems like such a small number because you can walk 2 miles in about 25 minutes. But 2 miles down deep, dense, dark ocean, that's a long-ass way.
Yeah. I think they say that the crust of the Earth is like 400 miles thick.
Mm-hmm.
And so even we tried to drill down and only got 7 miles, you're not going to get even past the crust.
No.
Not at all. And then the mantle is between 8 and 3,000 degrees Celsius or centigrade.
Mm-hmm.
Which would just melt fucking anything you try to put down there.
Yeah.
But there were theories from people. There was a guy named Sims that said that only portions of the mantle are extremely hot like that, but there are other portions that are cooler, and pockets that were open and hollow and inhabited by different beings. And that's if there was civilizations underground, I think they would be more likely something like that, as opposed to theories of like living on the inside of the shell, or like Edmund Halley's theory of concentric, like a nesting doll situation where there's, a shell inside of a shell inside of a shell, and each one of those is a different level of civilizations living in worlds just like we are living here in our world.
Yeah.
And there was even people building on his, saying that we are actually on the inside of one of those shells. And
we're like Matryoshka doll number 4.
I don't know what that is.
Well, that's the nesting doll, or Matryoshka dolls. It's a really cool theory. I can't buy into it, but it's interesting to think about. Because I think about it in terms of, if you have the outside of the sphere, life on the outside of the sphere, like what we live on, allegedly, and then you have the convex side, how does that work? My theory would be that obviously the inside version is probably 60% or so the size of the outside version. Like, you do have mass in between, especially if you're sharing oceans, because then there would just be basically pathways where the oceans would meet, and then you would have the outside ocean and the inside ocean. But I would think they would almost have to run in opposite direction. Like, the inside one has to run retrograde, and in between, whatever the mass is in between. So they say the core is made out of iron and nickel, and that's what's putting off all the heat, but it's just one solid mass. It's like 70% the size of the moon. But what if that's actually a buffer in between the two, like plates essentially? And because you're spinning in opposite directions, you're heating it up. And when you're heating up metal, you are creating some kind of electromagnetic field, which could potentially cause gravity. But because you would have hot spots and cold spots, you would have spots where gravity is a little bit higher and spots where gravity is a little bit lower. This is the part where I'm going to get that text message saying shut up. Or that helicopter is going to land right there. Either way.
I want to stop talking now.
No, it's just, obviously I don't know the science behind all of it, but it's just kind of the way my mind works of like, okay, if there is a hollow earth, how in my mind could I interpret that working? And that's just what I think. Like, the media between the two worlds is metallic in nature, and because it's hot, because it's creating friction, because they're running in opposite directions, it's creating all that heat for the ground,
producing lava
/ magma, and well, it's so hot that it's melting rock, and that's what's creating the magma. But that's also technically what's creating gravity for both sides. So basically, everything on the inside is an inverse version. So right now, on the inside of the Earth, there's a Spencer and a Dave right now doing a podcast about outside Earth, but they're completely inverse, where I'm the one who's half Polynesian and you're white, and our skin is on the inside and organs on the outside.
That sounds just as probable as
as flat Earth.
as
You're
flat
right.
Earth. No, I mean that to me is if all these other things are taken in consideration, I don't see why that can't be either. There's a lot of things that fit together there.
Yeah, and just the metal thing alone, to try to put it into a perspective that would make some kind of sense, is maybe the iron nickel alloy creates the gravity effect versus all these stories about UAPs and alien reproduction vehicles, Diglock, all that. They're all powered by liquid mercury running in opposite directions. So it's like if the iron nickel creates gravity, the mercury creates anti-gravity.
Yeah. I would like to get a hold of some of their podcasts on the other side. I wonder if they have theories about outer Earth, outer shell theory.
I don't know, dude. I think I'd be more interested in their movies, because maybe they have the versions of movies that never got made, or TV shows. We could actually see the Tom Selleck version of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. Should get the new creators of Rick and Morty to fucking tackle this in an episode.
Dude, maybe we'll make a clip of it and just tag them in it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like Rick being like, crackpot, throw it away. Hack, that's hack.
Retarded?
Hold on, maybe they have Szechuan sauce in the inner Earth. I'll be right back.
Did you ever taste the Szechuan sauce when it was re-released?
When it was re-released? No, actually, I don't think I did. I'm sure it's like a watered down sugary version anyway.
I never had it.
It's kind of like, the way I imagine it is the barbecue sauce from McDonald's in the 90s was way different than what we have now.
I always preferred the barbecue sauce they used to have at Burger King, because it was a little bit smoky, a little zesty.
Yeah, it didn't quite have that sugary tang that the McDonald's one did.
Yeah.
I still love the McDonald's barbecue sauce. That's my jam.
I like the sweet and sour. I fucked wholeheartedly with sweet and sour.
Those are my two go-to. One half of the nugget for barbecue, the other half for sweet and sour.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they just need to make more pear-flavored barbecue sauces.
Paired flavor, that's where it's at. What's the one my mom does? It's like honey mustard with the sweet and sour, just double dip it. That's not bad. Or is it hot mustard? Either way.
So yeah, I think that your description of your version of your understanding of Hollow Earth, I think for me, it's solved, dude.
Easy fucking money.
You throw it out there and got scientists scratching their heads now. These two doctors have solved all of the problems that we've been facing for 50 years now.
The problem is that they won't give credibility because we're not publishing papers, but we have published episodes.
Yeah.
Just watch the episode, bro.
Just have ChatGPT run it through, print it out, fucking publish.
Yeah, YouTube will literally put subtitles on there.
Now it's published.
Boom. Written word. Eat shit, nerd. Yeah, it is still kind of a weird concept to think about. And I'm going to go back to challenging mainstream science, where we seem to have all this knowledge, right? Accumulated knowledge. We go, this planet's a gas giant, or in this planet it rains diamonds, and then this planet has all these moons, and this and this and this. Like, all of it to me is kind of speculation, because we only have limited technology to observe and like account for things, right? We're not actually there.
Yeah.
We can't go to Saturn and take a sample of the soil. We're only guessing what it is based on the technology we have.
Well, we're also basing our knowledge off of our understanding of how the elements work here in our
Exactly.
on our planet.
Like, most of what we understand from science and physics to a large degree is still predicated on what people came up with hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that works to get us to where we need to get to make the next leap forward, to say, okay, we understood it as this, but it's actually this.
Right.
And then in another 200 or 300 years, okay, we understood it to be this, but now it's actually this.
Yeah. Well, you can even take like metals and take them into space where there's zero gravity and put them together in a way that you can't do here on Earth because of gravity.
Yeah.
If you can do that with basic metals, why can't you do that with all of the known elements that we know about? Which there's only 117 minerals elements that we understand.
I want to say there's 119 elements on the periodic table. I could be wrong, but that number is ever changing.
Right. I mean, I think when I graduated high school, there was only like 90 something, but now they've added a bunch, including element 115.
Moscovium.
Yeah.
You know, the one that didn't exist in the 80s?
The one that was totally made up.
Yeah, it was totally made up, could never exist on this planet.
Lie.
It could never exist on this planet until like 15 years later.
Like, yeah. It's real, but we can't make it a stable version of it at all. So don't ask anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
God, I couldn't imagine like the elation Bob Lazar felt when that news came out. Fucking suck it, nerds. Element 115 doesn't exist. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, you're right though. Melding different metals in the vacuum of space bonds them together molecularly, not just in a melt it down and stir it up kind of way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you buy pre-mixed chocolate milk versus adding Nesquik to it. Like, it's not 100% mixed with Nesquik.
It's just not as chocolatey for some reason.
It's just not. It's not. I'm pretty sure for chocolate milk, they just feed cows chocolate syrup, really impregnate that flavor in there.
Yeah. They just milk the brown cows.
They only milk the brown cows. What about the black ones?
That's that rich, dark chocolate.
That's dark chocolate.
A little bit bitter, but you can't stop drinking it.
You can't.
Maybe that's where Guinness comes from.
That would make sense. Dude, I fuck with Guinness.
Yeah. I don't have quite a thick enough beard to drink it like fucking warm off the tap. Like,
I can, but I'm so American. It needs to be at least cool. Because I've had warm Guinness or room temperature Guinness. It's not bad.
yeah.
But there's also that American part of me that wants to tell like British people, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink it cold.
Yeah, I want ice in fucking everything, dude.
Except beer.
I don't want ice in the beer, but I want it to be ice cold.
I want it to be ice cold. And if it's gonna be one of those shitty piss beers, it needs to have those little icicles that formed in it because it's too much water content.
If I'm drinking Coors, the fucking mountains better be blue.
Blue as fuck, dude.
But yeah, Hollow Earth. So after doing research about it, have your thoughts or feelings changed?
I'm still kind of in the same mindset of it's absolutely possible, because our scope of understanding is too small to just say it's not. I mean, granted, you could apply that same logic to flat Earth, but it's just like I can't see a world where flat Earth works. I can't reconcile it in my mind.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're a flat earther, but you're fucking stupid. I said that enough times on here that it's like all like 9 of them are going to be like, hey, that's mean.
That guy's being mean. Let's attack him. I'm going to not watch.
Hey, it's like I said the other day, if you feel like somebody online said something and you feel attacked, it's probably because it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I think the things that sting the most are like things that you already kind of think about yourself, or know about yourself, or like have premonitions about yourself. And plus, if somebody else says it, who fucking cares?
I'm sorry, if it's not somebody in my day-to-day, I don't really give a shit. Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the idea that the moon can be hollow, why can't the Earth be hollow?
True. Me personally, I don't discredit the possibility that that there could be like vast openings as far as like a whole entirety of like a shell type situation. I don't really believe that. I don't know why. I've been brainwashed by science, I guess. But I do, reserve the thought of like, yeah, there are possibilities of like cavernous like places that we don't know anything about, and is there a possibility that there could be humanoid creatures, inhabiting these spaces? Why not? Like, there's stuff that we find in science all the time that we think that we don't know about, first of all, and or that we thought to be extinct, and then all of a sudden you're like finding some fish that's thought to have been extinct for 1 million years at the bottom of the ocean, alive and well.
Or like the many times it's happened where there's exploratory expeditions in Antarctica especially, where they'll take these core samples from the ice and they'll find ancient protozoa or other single-celled organisms and things like that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe that came up from Hollow Earth.
Maybe.
There's a little bit more lore I think we got to go into. So, the Atlanteans were obviously idolized by the Nazis. Again, we're going back to the Nazis because they tie into fucking everything. But that's where Aryan people allegedly came from, is Atlantis. So in the Battle of Atlantis with the Lemurians, it's kind of alleged the Atlanteans went underground. And so Atlanteans, Aryans, blonde hair, blue eyes, the Nordics, as one might say. So in like this Admiral Byrd story, where he meets these people and they all look like Aryans, blonde hair, blue eyes, they could have been the remnants of Atlanteans. Like, or maybe they were able to predict the Younger Dryas and say, we need to get out of here fast. Let's just move inland. Let's get inside the planet. We'll form a new biosphere there and exist there, and then just let the outside world do what it's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's evidence of humans doing that. Darren Kuyu in Turkey, where they have an entire underground, it almost looks like an ant colony underground that could support, I think it was up to 10,000 people, where they could like store food. There was vent shafts for oxygen, and as well as shafts that went down to aquifers where they could get water, fresh water.
And they've created greenhouses.
Yeah.
Like, it's an entire biosphere. Granted, it's related or reliant on the outsides, but still, that's a pretty cool feat. Like, when you watch a video.
For modern scientific researchers to not really kind of have a date of when it was built or when they started excavating that. You know, some people say 500 years, some people say thousands of years is when they started doing that. Even dating back to the Younger Dryas, and that's, you know, how they survived the cataclysms that happened, was going underground. Could that be where some of the lore stems from? And I mean, if you're playing the telephone game, if there was a cataclysm and people did have to go underground over 13,000 years ago, or 13,000 years ago, you know, playing the telephone game after they re-emerge back to the surface and then kind of restart civilization, you know, playing the telephone game down through 13,000 years, it might turn out that, yeah, our ancestors came from underneath the ground up here, started civilization again, and then that's as far as it goes, because nobody could remember the time before that. Like, maybe that's where a lot of these ancient beliefs or myths stem from. Maybe.
Well, and you know, another thing that gives Hollow Earth theory a little bit more credence to me is it's a direct parallel with the floods, where all these different cultures have the same tale. They just put different nomenclature to it. But then I think about, what if the flood was the cataclysm that created the need to go into the Hollow Earth? You know, what if it was like, who's in the Hollow Earth could also be remnants of Nephilim, or, you know, the angels and that sort of thing, where they know, oh fuck, God's pissed, let's go hide.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, dude, I think it's all just so tied together that it has a lot of value to me to say that it's totally possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you look at the biblical stories of the flood myth, the flood, Noah takes his family, takes all these animals on his ark, along with another family, and they, 40 days, 40 nights, the earth floods. When finally, like, the waters recede and they go back to the land that whatever they land at, I think one of his sons is told to go to a certain area of the land, and so he goes there, takes his family, and goes to go start a civilization of his own, a breakout civilization. When he gets there, he says it's already inhabited by the Danites, who are a bloodline descendants of the Nephilim. So there was obviously other people other than Noah and his family that survived the flood. So I mean, even if you're looking at it from a biblical point of view, you know, these people survived somehow, but we don't have a scientific reason or logical explanation of how.
Yeah, there's like no theology to support the other people who survived.
Right.
Because it's just like any other apocalyptic based situation where you could see that some people would survive. Like, kind of going back to the whole thing with Apophis, you know, and the story from the Y-Files where, you know, he kind of like projected what he would want to happen. And, you know, it's all an AI created story, but it's still great. But it's like, yeah, people in Los Angeles, they're fucking gone. But you created these like different pockets of society that survived. They survived something that should have ended all of civilization, but it didn't. Like, why couldn't that apply to a flood too? Yeah. Even if you were, you know, stuck on a fucking raft for 40 days and 40 nights, whatever it was.
I think that it does apply, and it has happened.
Yeah.
It definitely has happened, because there's so many stories of it from around every single culture. Like, there's flood myths in every single ancient story. So,
yeah, and it's crazy.
I don't know why they call it a flood myth anymore. It's just a flood fact.
The flood fucking happened. I don't even think that's debatable anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just, you could tie those two together, but just given the fact that all these different cultures across time and space have like come up with the same story, come on, man, we're not that good at the telephone game.
Yeah. So really, like, there would have had to have been a way for people to create an ark, essentially, whether that's a boat or like a fucking underground city to wait out the fucking water. Yeah, I think it's totally reasonable to believe that that's where all these legends come from.
Yeah.
Stem from.
But yeah, it is a crazy concept to think about. And I can't remember who said it. And I want to say it was Linda Moulton Howe. I think I got her name right. Or maybe it was somebody else. But somebody had said it's easier to believe that aliens would come from the inside of our own planet than it would be to believe they created technology to travel from a different galaxy to us or a different star system. And I thought, God damn, that's fucking accurate.
Yeah.
Especially with all the UAP activity of it being transmedium, going through land and water. Why not?
Yeah. Now, saying all that I said about like the possibility of hollows in the earth, inside the earth, and like humanoid creatures, beings inhabiting these spaces, for some reason I still think it's a stretch to believe that they'd be like super technologically more advanced than us.
Yeah.
It's just my own like bias of like being a super intelligent doctor, you know?
Yeah, I could buy into that. I mean, if you think about there already being an existing biosphere down there, and then whether it was the Atlanteans or the Nephilim or whomever just happen to find a pathway to get there, I imagine technology would be roughly on par,
Yeah.
you know, with each other, with a little plus or minus here or there. You know, are they down there like living in a great emerald city where you just think something and it happens? I kind of doubt that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, talking about like ancient people surviving cataclysms, like even today, like what do they do? Like there's whole companies that sell like doomsday bunker things, and it's like that's a lot of people's plans still. Is like, what do you do if something happens to go underground? So is that something that's built into our DNA because we've done it before? Possibly.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of burrower DNA in us somehow or another.
We are the mole people.
The mole people. No, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, they actually put Mole Man in the Fantastic Four movie. I'm not a big fan of Fantastic Four, but I thought that's cool, you know? Actually, like, give a little bit of attention to some of the not cool villains in the Marvel Universe. Anyway. So yeah, I think we fucking solved it.
I think so. If you have any further questions, you can contact us. Hit us in the comments. Or not. I don't care.
Fucking get up in those comments, dude. Just all up in them. Send a message, you know. I would like to see more kind of audience interaction, even if you just leave a comment and say you guys are full of shit.
Yeah. If you made it all the way through this episode, tell us to fuck off.
You're one of the majestic 11, as Scott says. Great fucking comment, by the way. Great comment. That was top tier. But yeah, Hollow Earth, very likely.
I definitely think that there's, you know, possibilities are really endless.
Give a percentage of probability.
I would go as far comfortably as 75%.
Solid number. I'm also like, in my heart it's 75%, but in my mind it's 50-50, because everything's 50-50. It is or it is not. So, but yeah, 75%.
Yeah.
Now, if you could go there, would you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a couple shovels right there. We can, got enough room here. I don't know how big. If you had to dig through 450 miles, you'd probably have to have
At least 2 shovels.
at least 2 shovels. But I don't know if my backyard is big enough because we'd have to like structurally reinforce it to get down that far. So the opening would have to be big, kind of like Kennecott. Like
Yeah.
they've dug down the entire mountain, but it's like a gaping hole now.
Yeah. But it's like conical coming down.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it safely.
I don't know. I think I'd be wore out by the time we got like a small mound of dirt.
Yeah.
Be like,
I'll be ready for a beer.
I was literally about to say, fuck this, let's get some beer. I'd rather theorize. We'll let other guys do the digging. So yeah, that whole movie, The Core, total bullshit.
Bullshit.
Fucking losers,
I don't know
bud.
if I've actually seen it. I'd say it's bullshit, dude. I agree.
Well, yeah, it's
As doctors do.
as doctors do. In the movie, the Earth's core has stopped spinning, so they have to create this ship to transverse through the crust and the mantle, and then ignite nukes to get the core to start spinning again.
Oh yeah, I have seen that movie, but I don't remember it. That's how good it was.
Well, it's no Christopher Nolan movie, just say that.
I mean, if you're talking about that too, it's like they do have. You can look at it in rocks that where the polarity of the Earth has shifted, and it does throughout time over like millions of years. It'll go, the polarity will shift.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a fast shift and the poles did flip and the Earth just went like that, whoop, that would be a mega flood across the whole world.
It would be, yeah, because if you flip the Earth, let's say if you just turn it 90 degrees, right? Now you put the poles where the equators are, and the equators are where the poles were, you're almost going to instantly melt those fucking ice caps.
Oh, instantly, yeah.
And then plus you've got land masses that are breaking apart and going wherever. You would have a massive fucking flood.
Yeah, well, you just go like this with like a, and then you turn it like that, and then all the, after you've done turning it, all the liquid's still spinning like that. And so,
Yeah. And it would take a while for it to settle.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't get comfy, we're doing this again in 13,000 years.
Stay in your hole.
So yeah, solved it. Fucking a good one right there.
Yeah, I think we are the mole people.
We are the mole people. That just, the Hollow Earth one just connects so many dots. It's fun.
It is fun. Definitely, with so many different things that we've talked about, like, there was a lot of different things that just tied right into the whole thing. And maybe that's where, like, people talk about, like, all these conspiracy theory nut job people just connecting dots where they don't exist. And it's like, yeah, but if you actually look at it, everything is connected. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it's so interesting. Like, this is like, some things are facts, and then there's speculation here, but they're all connected. You got to try to find a tie of truth that, you know, can prove one way or the other.
Yeah.
Basically, you just got to fucking start digging.
You got to connect the dots. Even if sometimes your speculation is wrong, it might lead you in the right direction.
Either way, you're either going to prove it or disprove it.
Or you're going to create a belief system for yourself.
Yeah,
And
a religion, which some people have done.
super good.
In the space of Hollow Earth, there's been people who started their own religion.
Yeah, they're just like wearing white robes. Oh, Gartha.
And they based themselves out of Florida, so that's how you know how crazy it is.
Urgh.
Yeah.
Urgh.
Yeah.
There's things I like about Florida, but every once in a while I see something about Florida that I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I lived there for a time when I was younger, and so I see these things that happen in Florida, I'm like, yeah, it checks out.
Yeah, I'm the same way with California. I see shit that's going on in California now, and I'm like, math checks out.
Yeah.
No question about it.
100% that happened.
Yeah. Both places are fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did see a pretty cold call out from DeSantis, the governor of Florida. And somebody was asking him, like, how is it you're able to run such a successful state that's not known to be successful? He's like, oh, I have a cheat code. I just look at everything California's doing, and I do the exact opposite. And I was like, get him.
It's pretty solid.
I will give Gavin Newsom one thing. He's charismatic. He's very camera friendly. He speaks with real intention, but he's just so full of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's totally unrelated to Hollow Earth. So it's possible.
Hollow Human.
There's a Hollow Man, cool movie. Paul Verhoeven, another great director. Hollow People, we got those everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, solved it. Put a pin in it. Put it in the can.
Put it in the can, doctor.
Doctor. All right, we'll pull the pin on that one. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.